What's up, Camden County? Alison Shores from the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I ride around Camden County, I look in the newspaper, I see some press releases, I hear all these things about things that are coming, whether it's an apartment complex, whether it's retail, just so many questions. Do we have industry coming here? So today on this episode of Get In Your Business, we decided to go straight to the source and talk to the Camden County Joint Development Authority. And today with us, we have Executive Director James Coughlin. James, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yes, so let's start off, first things first. What is the Joint Development Authority?
Good question. We get that a lot. So the title is Camden County Joint Development Authority. Mm-hmm. We are an organization, an entity that is separate and apart from the Camden County government. We are constitutionally established, funded through the county, but we're our own standalone entity focused on economic development for the county and all three cities.
Okay. So when you say economic development,
that's
a big word.
It is an all-encompassing word, right?
Yeah.
Because technically anything that comes to your area is economic development. You get a new restaurant, you get a new housing development, whatever. But this is more of a strategic approach, and the focus is on creating good quality jobs. That's primarily the focus. In most areas, all over the state of Georgia, we would be considered an industrial development authority. And at our core, that's still who we are, focusing on what you would think about in traditional industry and things to create jobs. But in Camden, we also touch on other things that maybe some of my peers in other places wouldn't. We touch on large mixed-use development. We'll occasionally touch on hotel tourism projects and, of course, traditional industries. So that our focus always, though, is to bring investment and jobs to Camden County.
Okay, now I know one site in particular here is big in Camden County is the old mill site.
We can't call it the old mill site anymore.
We're not calling it. So what are we calling it?
I'm trying to get better about that myself.
Okay, so what are we calling it?
We call it Cumberland Inlet.
Okay, Cumberland Inlet. I love it.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
So in Cumberland Inlet, what should we be expecting to see?
That has been a long time coming.
Yes.
But after almost 5 years now of working on that site, it is permitted for a marina.
Okay.
Jim Jacoby from Jacoby Development out of Atlanta has purchased the property as of this time last year.
Okay.
2 months ago, in mid-April, the City of St. Mary's approved his overall master plan for the project, and it features a marina. It'll start off with a marina, about 170 slips, combination of wet slips and dry slips, vacation properties all along the waterfront there on the former Gilman Mill site, little bit of retail and boutique hotel, restaurant type things up at the corner of Meeting Street and Osborne. If you think about right as you roll into downtown St. Mary's, so that's what you would see. And then further north into the site, where I like to say it's sort of like a jungle, there'll be some RV ecotourism aspects of it. All of it done in a way that really complements the historic waterfront nature of St. Mary's. They're looking for sort of like an 1870s fishing port theme architecturally.
Okay.
So really cool stuff.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. It's
So
cool.
when will we start seeing some construction?
Yeah, some dirt moving,
Yeah,
right? That everybody wants to know.
Everybody wants to know that.
It's all talk until some dirt moves.
Yeah.
Actually, they're talking about doing a soft groundbreaking later this summer.
Oh, wow.
With a larger groundbreaking in the fall.
Okay.
So I mentioned the City of St. Mary's has approved his master plan. That was in April. What happens now is the engineers, now they know that site plan's approved, they go back and they design the stormwater, the sewer, the water, all of that to support that master plan. That takes a couple months to do. And then they bring it back. There's so many moving parts behind the scenes. I wish it was as simple as buying a piece of property and then clearing it and building something, but there's so many.
In my mind, it is that simple.
I know, and we all look at it, I think, from the perspective of a homeowner.
Right.
I buy a piece of property, I clear it, I go downtown, I get my permit, and I start building. And there's federal agencies involved and state agencies involved, and years of planning, and even as simple as the schedule for how dirt will be moved if we're going to dig a hole here and put this dirt over here, when you're talking a site that is over 1,000 acres and a whole lot of dirt to be moved, if you don't do that in the right sequence, it'll drive the cost of the project up by millions of dollars.
I can't even imagine.
Isn't it crazy?
Yes.
So anyway, they've been working all that out. They'll be doing a presentation at our board meeting in July.
Okay.
And we hope to have, as I mentioned, sort of a south groundbreaking later this summer.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Uh-oh.
And I'm probably not going to, I'm assuming that you probably renamed this one too. The old airport.
See, we don't say the old mill site, we don't say the old airport.
Okay, so now what is it called? So
that is
I know.
officially the St. Mary's Commerce Park.
St. Mary's Commerce Park. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is going to go in this?
So everybody remembers back in 2017 that airport officially closed.
Okay.
And since then we've really been sort of thinking, what is the best use for that property? We've entertained several different ideas, but I guess it was around January of this year we partnered with the City of St. Mary's to develop the St. Mary's Commerce Park. The southern half of the park between Point Peter Road and Douglas Road will be a light industry park, a park for light industry. Pre-engineered metal buildings, who has a presence in St. Mary's right now, is planning to build a 300,000 square foot manufacturing center there. I know, and employ another 75 people. Good jobs too.
Yeah, awesome.
If you guys haven't met the folks over at PEMB, they're really great folks. They're plugging into the community already. They're already sponsoring community events and things like that. I mean, they're fantastic, first class. Veteran-owned business.
Oh, wow.
And then right to the west of them, a company called SG Blocks that made their name. They sort of got famous taking shipping containers, you've probably seen this on HGTV and stuff, and converting shipping containers into residential or retail and things like that. Yeah, but today, nobody can get shipping containers, right? It's a big supply thing. So they build their own modular structures and then go out on the job site and put them together. They do Starbucks, they do medical facilities, they do all kinds of things. And they're going to build those in St. Mary's, 115,000 square foot facility, employ 125 people, awesome. And again, really good jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the St. Mary's Commerce Park.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about something else that I know. They broke ground here. They at least had their groundbreaking because I attended.
You were there.
But I want to know a little bit more about it. Is Plug Power? Let's talk about them. Yeah,
so Plug Power, for those of you that aren't familiar with the name, they provide what's called hydrogen fuel cells. I know, the first time I heard about it, I thought, wait a minute.
Listen, the one thing I know about hydrogen is you need 2 of them in water. That's about all I know about
You got your 2 H's and an O,
right? So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
But they provide hydrogen fuel cells. It's an alternative way to fuel primarily equipment that you would see in a large distribution center or warehouse.
Okay.
They can fuel fleet vehicles and things like that, but their most common application, they have contracts with Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
And when you think about thousands of people, hundreds, thousands of people maneuvering inside of a building with all kinds of little trucks and forklifts and all that, you don't want a bunch of diesel vehicles in there, right? Creating kind of a smog and people have to breathe that. So there's 2 ways to do it. One would be traditional electric, which you work a forklift for a while, you've got to go plug it into the wall for 12 hours and let it charge. Or what Plug Power does, hydrogen fuel cells, where they run something on hydrogen for several hours. When it gets low, they take one fuel cell out, put another fuel cell in, and they're good to go. And that piece of equipment just goes around the clock. It's very green. It's just sort of a nationally recognized, globally recognized company. Made a $84 million investment in Camden County to put a hydrogen fuel cell production site right up the road here in Kingsland at the Camden County Industrial Park. Very cool, yeah.
And you say $84 million, like that's not us paying them to come here.
Nope, and I'm glad you asked that because sometimes I'll say $84 million investment and people say, whoa, wait a minute.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, whenever I say something like that, that's the company making a decision somewhere in some corporate office to invest that money here in Camden County, to build a facility, to purchase land, to clear land, to actually go vertical and build something. That's roughly $84 million.
And to do that, you have to provide them with all the demographic stuff, though. I mean, I'm sure I can't think of any of all the things you probably have to.
Yeah, well, a big part of economic development in general is finding out what's driving someone's decision. In the case of a new retail development, let's say, for example, somebody really wanted a new retail store in Camden County, and I've heard that there are certain retail stores in Camden County, right? No names being mentioned.
Right.
But let's say that we identified one. They want to know, what are the traffic patterns? What are the spending habits of the people that live there? What are the demographics? How much do people make? Therefore, how much can they afford? What's the average cost of a home in that area? What's the growth pattern expected to be over the next 5, 10 years? And then how many people are within a 5, 10, 20-mile radius of that? So that kind of information is available on our website, on launchcamden.com. And we try to get that out to the people who decide where these businesses are going to be. It's not like it used to be, where a business owner is out driving around and decides, this is a lovely community. I think I'd like to put my business here.
Yeah.
That's true in the case of very small businesses, but in the case of larger retail and larger industry, it's traditionally done by what we call a site location consultant. It's a third-party firm that's hired and given certain metrics, and that's what they drive around looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I know this isn't technically industry, but I still want to know. I want to know, what's going in front of Tractor Supply?
So I won't even begin to take credit for that. My friends at the City of Kingsland, Scott Kimball, Lee Spell, that is definitely their territory, and you need to find some chairs for those guys, because they've got a lot going on. Mayor Grayson Day, get them over here.
We're gonna get them in here.
Yeah, but that is Pop Fresh. It's an upscale dollar store.
Okay. I haven't heard of it. But
I haven't either.
I will look into it.
I haven't either, but it should be a welcome addition to our retail tapestry here in Camden.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate you taking the time today. Can you give people, I know you guys are on Facebook, and you do put some of your information, that things you have announcements, let's just say, on your Facebook. And that is what? Camden County Joint Development?
Camden County Joint Development Authority on Facebook, and as I mentioned, launchcamden.com.
Launchcamden.com.
Yeah.
So that's where people can find out information.
Get more information, yeah, absolutely. And you know this, and I'll just make sure everybody knows, we'll often work on a project for months or even years before it makes a public announcement, and that's usually at the request of the company involved, because they're probably looking at us, they're looking at other communities, and they've also got employees somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
In some other state, in some other country. And rather than scare the employees back home about what's going on, they usually operate under a code name for a period of time until they're ready to make an announcement. But as soon as we can, we try to be as transparent as we can and get that information out there.
I always try to figure out your code names.
I know.
Y'all have them.
I know.
Man.
Just keep in mind, most of them I don't make up.
Yeah.
They're given to me. So,
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. Have we covered everything?
You know what? I think we should probably do this on a regular basis.
I think so too.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, but I think this is good for now.
Yeah, so we will definitely pop back in sometime soon and catch back up and see what else you have going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and share. We appreciate you guys watching all these, getting in your business. So keep them coming. Y'all keep liking and sharing. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.